Oftentimes, it's in the middle of those situations or circumstances that we find ourselves in when we've gone down a path maybe where we shouldn't have, or because of stuff that happened in our life, we made choices and we've ended up at a certain place. Many times, if we're honest, we can find ourselves distracted and disoriented and feeling like we've created a disaster. And many times, in those moments that we find ourselves in, that we feel those, they're real feelings. They're not just things in your head, but they're real feelings. They affect our perspective. They affect our outlook. They affect everything about our life. And when we're in those moments of discouragement and distraction and feeling like we've just missed the mark, we have a tendency to stay there thinking that, well, I made my bed, I have to live in it. And I want to tell you, it's in moments like that God is more real than he is than when things are going our way, because his attitude, his perspective, his love, his commitment is undaunting in those moments. In fact, it's often when we find ourselves in these moments where God is speaking so loudly, assuring us that he's got this and that he's going to walk us through and that he's going to give us the equipment we need so that those things don't define us, but they become a stepping stone and become a testimony of victory. I'm not one about gloating about the past, because the past has been an experience for us. But the past is not the guide for the future. The past isn't the backdrop for our future. The past is something that we can say is a stepping stone. Something we have to learn to leave behind us so that we're undaunted, undistracted, or undeterred in the future that God has you. If you find yourself in one of these aspects here this morning, I want to tell you there is hope. It does not define you. Just because we've made those choices or had the prognosis over us does not mean it's the end, because we serve a God that always turns the page. And the next page just adds to the chapter that we've had before. It never says the end. Moments like that ought to encourage us, because we know our future is brighter than our past. We're not defined by our past. We're not defined by the mistakes we made. We're defined by what God declares over us and the future that is ours. We got to learn to celebrate our progress. We've got to stop always looking at what we're not doing or what we're not accomplishing. We've got to learn to stop in the midst of it, in the midst of our struggle, the words that have spoken, and we got to celebrate from where we came. We don't celebrate enough because we're too busy trying to achieve. We're too busy trying to get approval. We're too busy trying to make sure we do the right thing. You know what? You can try to do the right thing all the time, and I'll guarantee you, you won't hit it all the time. So what do you do in the midst of it? You celebrate what you have accomplished. You need to celebrate where God's brought you. Yes, you're not where you want to be. Yes, you still struggle with things in your life. So what? Celebrate where you've arrived. We got to learn to do that with others. We got to learn to celebrate with people. Why is it we always see people's mistakes and failures? It's, oh yeah, I was in coffee and I seen this. And can you imagine? I'm mom, right? Why can't we flip that? Listen to this person's story. Look where they've come. Look what they've overcome, and celebrate that. We don't celebrate enough, but I'm telling you, heaven celebrates every step forward you make, because he believes in us and knows that we have it in us. And the more we keep walking in the midst of the ups and downs, the more we see the reality of Christ in us accomplishing what he promised he would.
Hey, thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss a single video or podcast, and share these videos with a friend. And don't forget, you can join us live every Sunday.